Hey there everyone, Anna Green here, leader of Team Fit to Amaze and member of the Inspire Empire team. I'm coming to you today to try and simplify a little bit of what you should be doing every day. I know it can get a little bit intimidating to know what consistent behaviors you should be doing beyond just saying the 3 vital behaviors. But what specifically can you be doing to move your business forward and be consistent day by day? So what I'm going to talk to you about today is called the power of threes. And the reason it's called the power of threes is each of these categories I'm going to talk to you about, you're doing 3 of them every day, or one of them is 3 every week. So that's where the power of threes come. But this is a really good way to make a very good system that not only is going to be able to keep you accountable to yourself, also to your upline coach if you're working with them and having them help you identify where you've got some gaps or what you could be doing better. But it's also a system that you're going to be able to easily duplicate down to the coaches on your team as well. And that's the whole idea. We don't just want to say you should have a power hour or here's your to-do list. Some people, you really need to take it down to a granular level so they really know what are the categories of things that I should be doing, how many of them should I be doing a day, how do I track them, all of those things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So with the power of threes, I'm working it on a Sunday through Saturday, tracking every week from Sunday through Saturday what I'm doing. And I'll share with you also a form that I have for this that helps to track that. And that's something that you can have your coaches send to you that you can look over and give them some feedback on, or you could send to your upline and do the same thing. So the first category in this power of threes is adding new friends. You should be adding friends to your network every single day, 3 friends per day. So what does that mean, adding friends? There's a couple of different ways to do it. So we'll talk about Facebook first, since that's where we're doing the majority of the work as Beachbody coaches. So on Facebook, where do you find new friends? Go to the suggested friends, or who you may know, I think is what it's also called on the mobile app. Go through those. I kind of use, the disclaimer is, if we have 5 or more mutual friends, then I should probably know this person, right? So if I have 5 or more mutual friends with that person, I'll send them a friend request. Sometimes I actually recognize them, know who they are. Oh, that's right, they're from elementary school, whatever that is. Sometimes I don't, and that's okay. What's the harm? I personally don't send friend requests to males unless I actually know them, like we went to college together, we interacted, that kind of thing. So it's mostly just women. And a lot of times, sometimes I'll check out their profile and see, what they're all about, what they're posting, things like that. Other times, if I've got 5 mutual friends and you can kind of hover over that and it tells you who your mutual friends are, well, if I love those mutual friends, I know I'm going to love this person. So I'll just send them a friend request. So that's one way to add to your network. The other way, go to the memory jogger file, find the memory jogger file in the back office, search for it if you don't know where it's located, and that'll help you jog your memory, that's why it's called that, to think of people that aren't Facebook friends necessarily, like your dentist or someone from your church that you work with, you volunteer with in a group outside in the community, your child's teacher, whatever, things like that. Just jog your memory for people that you haven't interacted with, that aren't in your network and seeing what it is that you're doing every day. The other way is to make new contacts and make new friends. So you can do that in person by just being a nice, personable individual when you're out and about, talking to people, having business cards on you, not just, handing them a business card while they're walking down the sidewalk. I had somebody do that to me for a business the other day, and I thought, that was absolutely horrible. But no, having business cards as you're having a conversation with somebody at the park, another mom with their kiddos there, or another dog mom with their doggies there, having a conversation, you really hit it off together. Hey, I'd love to get together with you and plan another date when we can do this. Get their contact information, give them your card, whatever it might be. I usually get their contact information so that it doesn't seem like I'm just trying to push them something. But, if the conversation happens to focus on Beachbody, by all means, give them that. Another way on Facebook is to interact in groups. So find, what are your hobbies? What are your likes? For me, it's music and singing and crafting and Pinteresty kind of stuff, DIY. So I find hobby groups like that. Doesn't even have to be in your area, because we don't have to be near the people that we're working with. Just find those groups on Facebook and then interact in those groups. Answer questions that people ask if you've got an answer. Ask questions. Ask for people's opinions. People love to give advice. So ask questions, and then when they answer you after you've interacted and gone back and forth a little bit, send them a friend request. If you do it that same day, or the next day after you've had that interaction, they'll remember, oh yeah, that's right, we were in this group together, and then they'll totally accept your friend request. Big deal. Just be personable in those groups. Don't just be going to those groups to post your clean eating group advertisement and then never do anything again. Build the relationships. That's what this is all about. So this is 3 people a day for adding to your network, and you're not tracking, do those people actually accept my friend request? You're just tracking, who did I friend request today? You can go back and take a look at that later on if you want to. So the next category is building relationships or starting new conversations. Again, 3 per day. So this is where form comes in, asking those questions. Go to whoever's on your list for that day, those 3 people, go to their profile page, spend a couple of minutes just scrolling around, looking to see what did they do. Did they just get back from vacation? Did their kiddo graduate kindergarten? Which, by the way, that's so funny, graduating kindergarten, whatever. What's been going on in their life? And then go and send them a message, ask them a question about, oh my gosh, I love those shoes you wore last week. Where did you get those? Again, people love that you're taking interest in them, and that they're getting the chance to talk about themselves. So go ask them some questions, get to know them again. Maybe you haven't talked with them in 20 years, whatever it might be. Be more interested in them than you are interesting. It's not about you. Of course, answer their questions, but it's not an opportunity for you to tell them about what you're doing in your life. It's an opportunity for you to build the relationship and get to know them a little bit better. Go and comment on people's photos or offer encouragement on their page as well. If you're not actually private messaging people, or maybe you private message a couple and then you go and you comment and you interact with people, and just build that relationship and get yourself to be top of mind for them, so that when they're thinking about starting a fitness journey, you come to mind. The next category is invite people to something. So again, 3 a day, and you'll see a progression here, right? You start by adding a friend, and then you start by building that relationship. The next step might be inviting them to something. So what kind of things can you invite people to? Well, there's hopefully you're offering some free groups, whether it's a clean eating group or a plank challenge group or whatever it might be, a free group. Maybe you've got a free community page or a Lifetime Fitness page, or your challenge group obviously is something to invite to as well. Now the key here is not to just invite because it says it on this list and you need to check off 3 names that day. You have to make sure that it's natural in the conversation and the relationship that you have with someone. If it feels icky and it feels like you're just forcing them to, you're asking this question just because it's on the list, don't do it. Just continue to build that relationship with the people on your invite list. Especially if you're not filling a challenge group, you don't have a challenge group coming up for 4 weeks and you don't like to do the invites until 2 weeks before or whatever, keep your invite list going and growing. And then those people that are on the invite list, spend your 3 for that day in that category, building that relationship, so then it does become more natural when you are ready to invite them to one of your groups. The next thing to invite to is coaching or business opportunity invite. And this I like to do 3 a week, not 3 a day. Just spread it out a little bit over the week, because you're not doing these necessarily as often. So think of it this way. Again, if you have someone that you would love to work with, absolutely love to work with, you think they'd be phenomenal, you really want them on your team, you just think it would really help in their life. Again, if it doesn't come up naturally in a conversation, this one especially, do not force it to come up, because they will be turned so far away. Wait for it to come up naturally in a conversation. And the more conversations you're having and the more you're doing this, the more people you're interacting with. So the more often it will come up naturally, right? It's just a progression. Everything goes together. But this coaching invite, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. So you can invite them to an opportunity call or webinar, either that you're hosting yourself or your upline hosts every week. Invite them to that. Send them a recording from a past webinar. Invite them to have a three-way phone conversation with you and your upline coach. If you're not comfortable having that conversation yet, it doesn't mean you don't start inviting to the opportunity until you are comfortable. No, we don't do things like that, right? You start putting yourself out there, practicing and having these conversations with people, and then bring in your upline coach who's a little more comfortable with it, and they can work together with you to have the conversation with this person. The other place you can invite them to is team sneak peek or open house groups that you might have, or your upline coach might have, or your upline coach might have. There are team sneak peeks out there. Find one, and that's something that you can invite folks to as well. But again, if it's not natural, then the people that are on your coach invite list, on your dream team list, just continue to build the relationship with those folks in this category that week then. The next one, and this is important across all of the categories that you have, is follow-up, 3 a day. So follow-up, what is that? It's just checking in with people, reminding them. We all know we get busy, we see that message as we're heading out the door, then we go do other stuff. We don't remember it until we're in the line at Target or something, and you can't answer it then, right? So you have the best of intentions, but everybody gets busy, and it's not necessarily that they're just forgetting you, or it doesn't have anything to do with you. I know we take it so personally, but just remind people. That's our job, is just to be there for people and to remind them and help them. So check in with folks, 3 people a day, follow up, just check in with them. Now, if you're following up with us after a specific invite to coaching or to one of your groups, and they've stopped responding to you a little bit, I do no more than 2 specific follow-ups for that particular invite. If they're not responding, then I move them back to my form list, or my building relationships list. So I go back to just checking in with them maybe a little less often, just about their life. Bring it back to them. They move back to that build relationships list. They don't ever fall off. Nobody falls off of your list ever. They just move from one list to the next. So the next thing to do is check in groups, 3 a day. Again, so you've got your team page group, or your upline's team page group, your groups that you're interacting in and building those relationships. Check in with those groups. Training groups that you're likely in, check in with some of the training groups. Check in your back office. That is your meat. That's your meat and potatoes. That's where everything is. There's so much information in there. There's training, there's the coach news, FAQs. I mean, there's so much going on in that back office. You have to make sure you're checking in to the back office to know what's going on in your world. Check in with your team. Check in with your challengers. So in this category, again, 3 a day. Don't do the same ones every day necessarily, unless you only have 3, so you're kind of cycling it through. But check in with people, with groups that you're doing. It's really important to stay interactive and up to date on those things. And then the last category is posting. So posting on your Facebook or your Instagram, wherever you're running your business, posting at least 3 times a day, and track it on this form so that you can take a look back and see how your cycle kind of goes for posting. Are you posting Beachbody all the time? Nah, no, that's not you. You're not Beachbody all the time. You have a life outside of Beachbody as well. So tracking those posts, and it's not writing about what you actually posted, the specifics, just the category. 3 per day. So on this day, I did nutrition, I did my workout, and I did my kids, whatever it might be. Write that down so you can take a look over that week and see, oh wow, I never did a public post about a challenge group, or I never posted anything about nutrition this whole week, or man, I was really on fire this week. What did I do? What was I posting about? You can go back and see the subjects that you posted about. So again, 3 a day, and just write down the subjects for that. So these numbers are fairly minimal, and that's intentional, that this is manageable. You can do this. Any coach can do this in an hour. So if you want faster growth, then you need to increase the numbers that you're doing in these categories. So increase it to 5 or increase it to 10. Increase it across the board or increase in one different category if you're really rocking that, whatever it might be. If you're wanting to grow your team, increase the coach invites per week. If you want to grow faster and you want to grow more, then you've got to increase the numbers. Once you start doing this, if you feel like you got 3 down pat, not a problem, you got it handled, great. Increase it to 5. Increase it to 6. What? Right? You're challenging yourself a little bit. You don't ever want to get comfortable with this, but this is a consistent way to track your business moving forward. So what are the goals of this and putting this into your routine? Helping you help 3 people a month. Helping you achieve a Success Club, obviously, is a byproduct of that. Helping you grow your team to affect even more lives than you would ever be able to do just by yourself. Helping you create duplicable systems that you can pass on to your coaches that come in on your team. So it's easy for them to come in, feel comfortable, feel confident, and just go and rock it. So like I said, I'll also be sending you guys a form to go along with this so you can track that information. Be sure to save this video so you can come back and remind yourself what these explanations are of the categories that you'll see on the form. Of course, if you've got questions, post them. Love to answer them for you. But this is a way to be really consistent, really concise, and know exactly what you can do. If you've only got that hour, do these behaviors, and this consistency will build momentum that will definitely push you forward in your business. Have a fantastic, fantastic day, guys.